it is measurement of abnormal values of colligative properties. Okay, so what is want of factor actually, and how we are calculating and where it is applicable, all things we are discussed here. So first of all, its definition. Want of factor actually is ratio of observed colligative properties values divided by theoretical colligative properties value. Okay, so this is the ratio of colligative property observed upon colligative properties theoretical. Now, at place of observed colligative property, we can take any colligative property out of 4. So we can take here RLVP. So RLVP observed value upon its theoretical value. Similarly, we can write this I as delta TB observed value upon delta TB theoretical value, and similarly we can write in terms of delta TF as well, delta TF observed value upon delta TF theoretical value, and similarly in terms of phi observed value upon phi theoretical value. So this is actually the ratio of observed colligative property and theoretical colligative property. So whenever both values are equal, observed value will be equal to theoretical value when we are getting I equals to 1, isn't it? So there is no
Yes, sir.
difference in observed and theoretical value. Now when observed values of colligative properties will be different than colligative properties theoretical value, we are taking example. Now we can even rewrite this I in terms of moles as well, because we know colligative properties are directly proportional to the number of moles of solute. So here we can write moles of solute observed value upon moles of solute theoretical value, and we know the formula of mole is mass upon molar mass, isn't it? So
Yes,
mass
sir.
will never change whenever we add 1 gram of solute in any solution, whether that dissociate or associate, mass will not change. So what will change? The molar mass, or we can say molecular formula, will be changed. So here we can write, suppose mass is W and molar mass here known as observed molar mass. Here mass is again same and molar mass is known as theoretical molar mass. So what we are getting here is theoretical molecular mass of solute divided by observed molecular mass of solute, or even we can say molar mass of solute theoretical value upon molar mass of solute observed value. And when these are different, if any solute is undergoing dissociation or association in a solution, then observed molar mass will be different than that of theoretical molar mass, and we are getting I not equals to 1. Okay, so this is the formula for calculation of Vanta factor. Got it? So just
Yes,
remember
sir.
what is Vanta factor. It is the ratio of observed value of colligative property and theoretical value of colligative property, or in other words we can say observed moles of solute and theoretical moles of solute ratio. So now what the meaning of observed and theoretical meaning? So just if you are having a vessel and we are taking water as a solvent in this vessel, and we are adding some NaCl from outside, and for example we add, suppose, one molecule of this NaCl to water. Okay, this is solvent, water liquid, NaCl is solid, and as well as electrolyte also. When we add one molecule of NaCl in water, after dissolution, this NaCl molecules remain undissociated as NaCl or will change to any other species.
They will change into anions and cations.
Okay, so in solution we observe this as Na plus and Cl minus. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So how many particles we are observing in the solution after mixing? Two. We are observing two particles or not?
Yes, sir.
If it was not dissociated, then we are observing only one particle, or we can say one molecule here. But here we observe two ions, or we can say two particles, and we added one particle here. So number of particles observed in the solution and number of particles added to the solution are different or equal?
Different.
Different. So here we are using the Vanta factor for calculation of this thing. We observed two particles and we theoretically added one particle here. Or we can say if we add 1 mole of NaCl, then how many moles of ions we are observing here? 2 moles.
2 moles.
So here by applying formula I equals to 2 moles we observed, and we added initially, what we added initially is known as theoretical moles. Theoretically we are added 1 mole. So here I will be 2. So this is the meaning. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir.
And again we can say here molecular formula of NaCl we are taking Na1Cl1. So molecular mass is what? 58.5, isn't it? And
Yes,
here
sir.
molar mass of Na plus and Cl minus is not equals to 58.5. That is different. So again
Yes,
we
sir.
can say the molar mass is changed here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is actually Vanta factor we are taking here. So for
Sir, will they give the mass of this Na plus and Cl minus cations and anions observed?
actually mass, if we add 1 gram of NaCl, whether it dissociate or associate, after all, total mass will be equal always 1 gram for solute. But
Yes,
moles
sir.
or number of particles observed and theoretically added may be different. But mass will never change. If we add 10 gram of NaCl to 1 liter water, whatever happen, it is dissociated in any particles. How many particles? It total mass will be always 10 gram. So mass will not
Yes, sir.
change. Molar mass is changed. Molar mass is depend on molecular formula. Like if you are having a formula C2H4, okay, and now we are having the formula C4H8, suppose, okay. So can you say what is molecular mass here? 28, and here 56, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So here these are different. This is known as molecular mass, we can say, or we can say molar mass. Theoretically both are numerically equal. So here why these are different? Molar mass for this molecule is 28 and for this molecule is 56. Why happens this? Can you say the reason? Because molecular formula is similar or different for
But
both compound?
it's different.
It's different. And here again this is happening for NaCl also. For NaCl undissociated molecules, molecule formula is NaCl, and for dissociation, after dissociation we are getting formula is Na plus and Cl minus, at different two formulas. Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So
So
what
what
I
I
was
was
asking
asking
is
is
the
the
molar
molar
mass
mass
of
of
Na
Na
plus
plus
or
or
Cl
Cl
minus,
minus,
will
will
it
it
be
be
given?
given? Molar mass will be equal actually. Molar mass is what? We can say atomic mass of Na sodium is 23.
Yes,
Whether
sir.
it is present in form of Na plus or it is present with Cl minus as NaCl, the atomic mass of Na will be similar or not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. That will constant. Mass is what sample we are taking, what amount we are taking, that is mass, given mass we can say.
Okay,
Okay,
got it,
we
sir.
can take the 2 gram of NaCl. This 2 gram is mass taken, okay, and 58.5 is molecular mass or molar mass. And for same thing for atom as well, we can take 1 gram sodium atoms, 1 gram sodium atoms, but atomic mass for all that sodium atom will be 23 for each. Okay, so in case of atom we are saying molar mass of atom, in case of molecule we are saying molar mass of molecule, and numerically molar mass of molecule will be equals to molecular mass. Like if you are taking NaCl example, here molecular mass will be, can you say the value? In other words, we are saying that molecular weight also
Of
58.5.
NaCl, it will be 58.5.
Okay, 58.5 AMU or U, we are writing unified mass. And again for
Yes, sir.
this, if we write molar mass of NaCl, then
That will also be 58.5.
exactly, and formula is same, this NaCl molar mass will be numerically equal to 58.5, but unit will be different here, gram per mole. Here unit will be AMU or U, but here unit will be this gram. This is the difference between
Yes, sir.
molar mass
Got
and
it.
molecular mass. And another difference is what? Molecular mass is what? It is mass of one molecule actually, and molar mass is mass of one mole, that is having Na molecules like 6.02
Yes,
10
sir.
times to 23 molecules mass. Got it?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay, so what is the calculation process for I we are taking here? Just you got the meaning of I when we are using the I. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so now we are calculating the value of I, calculation of Vanta factor. In this first case, we are taking for non-electrolytes, non-electrolyte solutes. What the meaning of non-electrolyte? Whether the solute
They would
is
not dissociate or associate.
association or dissociation not possible for solute, then we are saying non-electrolyte. Okay, so in case of non-electrolyte solute like glucose, if we mix one molecule of glucose in water, after mixing we exactly observe one molecule. Okay, so observed
Yes,
moles will be always equals to theoretical moles.
theoretical.
So what ratio we are getting for these observed and theoretical moles? Always one.
Yes,
Then
sir.
we can say I will be always one here. And what we can say here, no dissociation or association is happening here. Okay, no dissociation, no association of solute particles. In that case, we are getting I equals to 1 always. For all non-electrolyte solutes, I will be 1. Now for dissociation, or we can say for electrolytes, another case, we are taking electrolytes. In a case of electrolytes, there are two sub cases, like there may be dissociation or association. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so what happen in both cases? Association. In case of dissociation, the observed number of moles will be more than theoretically added, so I will be greater than 1, and in case of association it will come less than 1.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we are having some more things here. In case of dissociation, we may have electrolyte that may be strong or weak. In case of strong electrolyte, the dissociation is 100% or fully. In case of weak electrolyte, degree of dissociation is less than 100%, and we are getting I that will be different from strong. Okay, so how can we calculate that? We are taking this. So now for strong electrolytes, we are calculating I for strong electrolytes. The definition of strong electrolyte is alpha, we are saying as degree of dissociation, that is 1, or we can say with percentage 100%. So this is the definition of strong electrolytes. Those electrolytes which are dissociated or ionized 100% in the solution are strong electrolytes. Okay, for example, here we are taking NaCl. If NaCl will ionize, then which kind of ions we are getting? Na plus and Cl minus. And now we are having, if 1 mole of NaCl, then how many moles of Na plus we are getting after ionization? 1. And for Cl minus also 1. So what about moles before dissociation? 1, after dissociation 2. So here in this case we are getting I equals to 2. When we are adding one molecule, we are getting 2 ions. Okay, hello,
Yes, sir.
got it? So in case of strong electrolytes, first you check which kind of ions are formed and then how many ions are formed. Which kind of ions, you just check the valency, and how many, here see the molecule formula. One molecule is having one sodium atom, so one ion is formed, one chlorine, so one chloride ion is formed, and one molecule is converted into 2 ions, so I will be 2 here. Okay, and then next case, if we are taking another salt, that is simple cation complex anion. In this case, can you say which kind of ions we are getting? One ion is Na plus, another
SO4 2 minus.
SO4 2 minus. Then how many Na plus ions we are getting from one molecule?
We are getting 2 moles.
2 from 1 mole. And how many sulfate moles for from 1 mole? 1.
1.
Okay. Now if we are taking 1 mole of this or one molecule, then how many moles of ions we are getting for 1 mole of this?
3.
2 mole of this and 1 mole of this, so we are getting 3. So
Yes,
I
sir.
will be 3 here.
3.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
And here you have to remember some more things also, like if we are having any complex or coordinated salt, like we are taking K4FeCN6, potassium ferrocyanide. You know the formula. This is the formula. Can you say I value of this salt? Either you can determine by ionization or you can determine directly by seeing formula. Can you say here what the value of I on dissociation of this salt? How many ions we are getting?
So not sure.
Okay, so first I am writing here the dissociation product of this. And can you say which kind of ions we are getting? One is K plus
K plus
and another one is complete complex ion.
Fe.
This
Yeah.
square bracket entity is not ionized in this case, and we are getting as one ion, so FeCN6. And this is known as coordination sphere. Actually, if you know, coordination sphere will not dissociate or break down. So here we are getting charge will be 4 minus at this anion on this plus 1. Now can you say how many atoms of sodium we are getting here? 4 from one molecule.
Yes, sir.
And how many? These complex ion is 1.
1.
So how many ions we are getting from one molecule? 4 plus 1.
5.
So I value of this salt will be 5 here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next I'm taking one more example. If you know a salt, we are taking magnesium sulfate heptahydrate. Do you know the common name of this salt? I think it
No,
is
sir.
Epsom salt. Okay, these kind
Wh-
of salts are known as
What, sir?
hydrated Epsom, EPSOM. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so these kind of salts actually which are having a water molecule as hydrogen bonded are known as hydrated salt. What we are saying? Hydrated salt. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in case of hydrated salts, we are having mostly, or we can say in almost all the cases, water as a solvent. Okay, so in case of hydrated salt, water molecules are not considered as a number of molecules we are getting after dissociation in water solvent. Okay, so what we are getting is just ionize this salt to get these two ions, and water molecules are goes to the solvent, so we are not counting for calculation of I here. So what value of Wanda factor we are getting here is 2 only.
2.
Okay, so to remember, now if you are having different solvent than water, then these are considerable. Okay, got it?
Yes.
Done. So now I'm giving some more examples to you. For this you have to calculate value of I. Okay, calculate the value of Wanda factor here. Find Wanda factor for these salts. Okay, do solve.
So for the first one, I is equal to 2.
Okay, right.
Second one, I is equal to 4. Sorry, 5, 5.
Okay, for this 5, yeah, right.
And for the third one, it is I is equal to 2.
Yeah, for question number 7,
Yeah.
yes, I is 2.
And for the next one, it is I is equal to 3.
Correct.
For ninth one, I am confused, but I tried for the 10th one. The 10th one is I is equal to 2.
And for ninth, we have discussed
Ninth
this
one,
kind of example, if you know.
yes, sir, we discussed, but for the complex, that compound,
Okay, you are not able
I got
to
it as
ionize
4.
that. Okay, just remember one thing here. These are very easy actually example. Just you are seeing here square bracket. Okay, this
Yes, sir.
square bracket will never break. In case of complex compound, you are getting this kind of square bracket. This will not change ever. Okay, do remember this square bracket entity remain as it is.
So then,
Okay,
sir, is it 4?
yes, correct. So this is one ion and 3 potassium ion. So outer ion to this coordination sphere, this is known as coordination sphere. These are ionized and dissociated, and this coordination sphere will remain as it is. Okay,
Yes, sir.
done. So you are getting right answer for all that. Now we are taking one more case for calculation of I. Now we are calculating for weak electrolytes. We are calculating for weak electrolytes, and in case of weak electrolytes, these are not ionized or dissociated 100% and partially dissociated. So what we can say, degree of dissociation is less than 1, or we can write as alpha is less than 100%. So do remember this is definition. Now we are taking example. For example, if we have a weak electrolyte, that is AB. Okay, this may be monovalent, monovalent, bivalent, bivalent, anything. And this weak electrolyte, we are mixed to water, this becomes aqueous, and after becoming aqueous, some part of this will ionize and to convert into ions like A plus aqueous and B minus aqueous. And in such cases, there will be establishment of equilibrium, if you know. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So initially we are mentioning this as T0 time equals to 0 means initially we are taking suppose 1 mole of this. So initially these are not ions produced, and after equilibrium establishment or dissociation we are getting the ions. So at equilibrium state, up to equilibrium, the number of moles, or we can say fraction of 1 mole of solute will be dissociated, is known as alpha actually. Alpha is what? Fraction of solute dissociated from 1 mole up to equilibrium. Like from 1 mole, if 0.1 mole is dissociated, alpha will be 0.1. 0.2 moles has been dissociated from 1 mole, alpha will be 0.2. Do remember, whatever the moles, or we can say fraction of 1 mole dissociated for solute up to equilibrium is known as alpha. So now here we are taking variable alpha. Out of 1 mole, suppose alpha mole has been gone to the product. So what we are moles we are getting for these ions, just follow the stoichiometry of reaction. Here coefficient are 1 1 1, so 1 mole on dissociation produce 1 R 1, so alpha mole dissociated to produce alpha mole of this and alpha of this. Now can you say how many moles of A plus ion we are getting at equilibrium state?
Alpha.
Alpha. For B minus ion, how many moles we are having?
Alpha.
And how many moles of undissociated AB solute, or we can say electrolyte, present at equilibrium state? For this,
It is 1 minus alpha.
yes, correct. For AB undissociated form, this form is known as undissociated form. AB aqueous we have written. This is known as undissociated form. Okay, for undissociated form we are taking initially 1 mole, and out of 1 mole alpha mole has been reacted, so remaining unreacted moles for this solute will be 1 minus alpha here. Okay, so how many moles initially we are
Yes, sir.
taking is theoretical moles of solute, that is what, 1 here. Now how many moles we are
Yes.
observing at equilibrium, that is some undissociated form is there, and it is equals to 1 minus alpha. So 1 minus alpha moles for AB undissociated we are getting at equilibrium, then alpha mole for A plus and alpha moles for B minus. So how many moles totally we are getting here at equilibrium state will be 1 plus alpha. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now if we apply the formula of Quanta factor calculation, that will be observed moles of solute upon theoretical moles of solute ratio. So what ratio we are getting is 1 plus alpha moles at equilibrium we are getting totally, and initially we have added 1. So I equals to 1 plus alpha here. Got it? Here alpha is known
Yes, sir.
as degree of dissociation, and you have to use this as fraction alpha. Okay, it may be given in percentage form, but you have to use always as a fraction. Like if you have given like alpha as 20%, then fraction will be what? 20 by 100,
0.20.
0.20. So here you have to take the absolute value of alpha, that is fractional value, not in percentage. So if it is 20%, then what is the value of I here? 1.2.
Yes, sir.
I will become 1 plus 0.2. Okay, so 1.2 and it
Yes,
is
sir.
greater than 1.
Yes, sir.
So for dissociation we always get greater than 1 value of I. Now we are taking one more example for this kind of electrolyte. If you are having any weak electrolyte and formula for weak electrolyte is suppose AN. Okay, now this is undergoing partial dissociation to form Na type particles. This is aqueous form and this is also aqueous form. Can you find the relation between I and what the factors? I and alpha degree of dissociation. Just before this we have discussed in similar we have to describe the relation between I and alpha here. Can you do it?
Yes, sir. Just trying.
Okay, do try. Just take degree of dissociation as alpha and solve it. And the method of solution is similar as we have discussed in previous section.
So initially we will take the moles at t is equal to 0 as n, right?
You have to take always one mole. If you are taking one mole, then number of moles reacted up to equilibrium will be always alpha. For formula may be any kind, but you have to take just one mole. Start from one mole and then reacted moles will be always known as alpha. Otherwise, we can take any number of moles initially, but in that case, alpha will be changed in expression actually.
So what should be the answer?
Have you got expression? Can you tell me?
Yeah, I got something else. That's the reason I was asking.
Okay, so just we are discussing it. Okay, just match it. In all type of cases, you can take 1 mole as initial moles. So at t equals to 0, we are taking here 1 mole. Even we are not taking 1 mole, then also we can find, but it is easy when we are taking 1 mole. Okay, so we are started with 1 mole, and initially the dissociated part is 0, so we are taking 0. So now at equilibrium state, out of 1 mole, how many moles are reacted is known as always alpha. So in out of 1 mole, just we always decrease the alpha. Actually, this is an goes to Na. So okay, out of 1 mole, alpha has been gone. So here, according to stoichiometry, you have to say how many moles we are getting for A. This is species is A, N is stoichiometric coefficient here.
N into 1 minus alpha?
No, just see
N alpha.
N alpha, yes, correct. And you can just find this in easy way, like moles of A upon moles of An. The formula of reactant is An and formula of this product is A. This moles produced for A and moles reacted for An will be always in the ratio of their stoichiometric coefficient. So what is coefficient of A? N. What is coefficient of An? That is 1. So 1. So now for An, alpha mole has been reacted. So put it alpha here. So how many moles we are getting here? Suppose X. So can you say X? That is an alpha. So this ratio is always determined with the help of stoichiometric coefficient. And this is applicable only for reacted and produced moles, not for all moles or given moles. Moles produced for product and moles reacted from reactant. From how many moles it is not matter. Okay, got it. This is stoichiometric calculation. Alpha mole has been reacted, we are getting an alpha. So can you say now total moles at equilibrium state? How many moles we are getting at equilibrium?
1 minus alpha plus N alpha?
Exactly. These, and initially what moles we are taking?
1.
That is theoretical mole, and these are known as observed moles. So now we are getting the expression for I, that is what? 1 minus alpha plus N alpha upon 1. And now we can modify it as well. We can take alpha is common here. So 1 plus alpha into N minus 1. Is it right? Upon 1.
Yes, sir.
And we can modify this as alpha equals to I minus 1 upon N minus 1. If you know, we are getting alpha's expression from the same. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So this is the expression we are calculating for weak electrolytes alpha. Okay. And here I is always greater than 1, because you can see here from to this 1 we are added something. Okay, alpha is not 0, it is non-zero, then we are adding something to 1, so it is greater than 1 always for dissociation. So now we are taking next example. This example we are taking for dissociation, and we can take the reverse example for association of electrolyte. For association, and you know, in case of association what happen, more number of molecules are associated to form less number of molecules, and number of molecules will be decreased on dissolution in the solvent. So what value of I we are getting, that is less than 1 always. Okay. And for
Yes, sir.
association we can take the example like this example, reverse example. Na are associated to form An formula. Here coefficient is n, here coefficient is 1. Here actually we are using the term degree of association. At place of degree of dissociation, we are taking degree of association, and calculation method and calculation all are similar. We are always just proceeding with the help of stoichiometry. Just name is different, the definition and all that are similar. So in this equation at t equals to 0, suppose we are taking 1 mole of this. Now this is reactant, this is product, is 0 initially. Now then at equilibrium, out of 1 mole, suppose beta moles has been reacted. Now beta is known as degree of association here. Can you say how many moles of product we are getting?
Beta.
No, beta. Actually, here you have to use the stoichiometry. What is the coefficient of AN? Is 1 product,
Yes,
and
sir.
for reactant N, and we want to calculate moles of products latex, and how many moles of reactant has been reacted here. From 1 mole, how many moles has been gone to the product?
Beta moles.
Beta moles. So put it here. Moles of reactant reacted beta, moles of product let produced X, and the ratio is 1:n. So now what value of X we are getting? Beta by n.
Yes, sir.
So do remember this thing, we are calculating in this way. Beta upon n moles we are getting actually. And now how can you check it, like you have proceed this equation and whether it is wrong or right? Just see the subtracted moles here for reactant and see the produced moles for the product, and the ratio of these two moles subtracted and these produced moles always should be their coefficients, like n and 1. This ratio should be n ratio 1. Are you getting n ratio 1 or not? Like beta upon n, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
By this method you can check you have did it correct or not. Just check subtracted moles, these are reacted moles actually for reactant, and these are moles of produced for product. So the ratio of these moles, this subtracted value and this produced value, should be in the coefficient of stoichiometry for reactant and product. Like this should be n ratio 1 for these moles beta and beta upon n. And if these are equal in the same ratio, then your calculation is correct here. And even you can start with another number of moles that is not equals to 1, and you can proceed it, but subtracted moles and produced moles always must be in the same ratio, that is coefficient for reactant and product. Okay, now can you say how many total moles at equilibrium we are having for solute?
1 minus beta plus
1
beta
minus
upon
beta,
n.
remaining moles for undissociated this sorry, this reactant form we can say, and this beta upon n moles are for associated form beta by n. So this is mine, and initially how many moles we are taken? That is 1. So I will be equals to what? Sigma n upon 1. So 1 minus beta plus beta by n upon 1. So this value we are getting for I here. And actually what is happening here, out of 1 mole some moles are subtracted here, isn't it? So this will come less than 1, and we are saying for association it should come less than 1. Okay.
Sir, can you explain this thing only with the help of another compound?
Yes, exactly, we can take. So now I am taking example of association. If you know acetic acid,
Yes,
the
sir.
formula is this. Okay. And
CH3CH.
now if we mix acetic acid in a solvent that is benzene, then what happen? Do you know the term polymerization?
No, sir.
Polymerization just meaning, what the meaning, like some many molecules are added to each other to form a single molecule, and we are saying that as polymers, and this process is polymerization. Like if you know stars is consisting of which unit? Glucose units. Do you know?
Yes, sir.
Glycogen, maltose, sucrose, glucose.
Yes, sir.
So like if you are taking maltose, then maltose is having two molecules of glucose. Okay, so for formation of maltose, what is happening? Two glucose molecules are associated to each other or combined together to form one entity, that is maltose. Okay, so actually similar to polymerization, if two molecules are uh, connected to each other together and forming one molecule, then we are saying the term dimerization. Exactly. If three molecules, like in a polymerization process, reactant species or molecules participating are known as monomers actually. So when monomers are many monomers, like more than 10 monomers, then we are saying the process as polymerization. If monomers are 2, then we are saying the process dimerization. If monomers participating to get together are 3, then we are saying trimerization. If 4 monomers are participating, we are saying tetramerization, pentamerization, and so on. Okay, so just remember this term.
Yes.
And actually what's happening, the acetic acid molecule, when we mix in benzene solvent, then what happen, these acetic acid two molecules are combined to each other and form a single entity, single molecule. Here benzene is solvent and acetic acid as solute, and then what happen, its molecular formula will be changed and it becomes like this, and this is known as dimer of acetic acid. Actually two molecules are combined together to form this one entity. Okay, dimer of
Yes.
acetic
Yes, sir.
acid here, and this is known as monomers. These two molecules are known as monomers. So when two monomers are participating to form one entity, then this process is known as dimerization at place of polymerization. For polymerization, this number should be more than 10. When 10 molecules or more than 10 molecules are associated and form one entity, we are saying the polymerization. So what is happening, when we add the acetic acid to benzene solvent, then acetic acid molecules are undergoing dimerization, or these are to form dimer of acetic acid. And in this process, if we can say directly that acetic acid molecules are associated here, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So now we are calculating the Wanta factor for this. And before this, we are discussing why these acetic acids are forming a one entity or dimer. So for this reason is clear. Actually, acetic acid is having this kind of formula. If you know, this is one molecule of acetic acid, and
Yes, sir.
here is second molecule of acetic acid, and these molecules are forming intermolecular hydrogen bonding in benzene solvent. And this kind of intermolecular hydrogen bonding is there, and due to this what's happening, these are combined together to form a one entity. Okay, got it. So what the reason for
Yes.
dimerization here, you can say intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Got it.
Yes, sir.
Now we are calculating, suppose at t equals to 0, or initially we are taking 1 mole of this, or you can take 2 mole as well, and 0 moles for product. Okay, now at equilibrium,
Yes.
suppose at equilibrium, if beta moles has been reacted for this, can you say how many moles we are getting for this product according to stoichiometry?
It will be beta upon 2.
Exactly, beta upon 2. And you can determine in this way also, like here what you see, coefficient is 2, here coefficient before this molecule is 1. So when we
Yes, sir.
have two molecules of acetic acid, these are reacted completely, we are getting one molecules. So for one molecule of acetic acid, how many we are getting? 1 by 2. So for
Yes,
beta
sir.
molecules, what we are getting? Beta by 2. Got it?
Yes, sir.
And here number of moles reacted are beta, so produced moles will be beta by 2. So now can you say total moles at equilibrium? 1 minus beta remaining, and beta by 2 produced for product, another form. So this is also why I, actually, because we are taking initial 1 mole. So here this is the case. Now if you have given, for example, the degree of association of acetic acid or degree of dimerization of acetic acid in benzene solvent is suppose 20%, or we can take 30%, suppose it is 30%, then what value of beta we have to take it here is 30 upon 100,
0.30.
0.3. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
now what we are getting, the I here, the I will be, just put the value of beta, that is 1 minus 0.3 plus 0.3 by 2, and solve it, and you are getting the value of I that is less than 1 even. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so this is the way we are calculating the Wanta factors for case of association or dissociation, for strong electrolyte, weak electrolyte, all that. Okay, so can you do
Yes, sir.
this kind of question now?
Yes,
So
sir.
now I am giving some question based on this, you have to find. And after that we are applying the I in the formula of colligative properties. So just find the value of I first. We have given acetic acid, that is weak electrolyte, if you know weak acid, mixed with water. Okay, and degree of dissociation is given here at a particular temperature. Degree of dissociation is 40% here. Find the value of I for acetic acid. Do remember, acetic acid when mixed with benzene, it is undergoing dimerization. But when we mix in water, this is undergoing dissociation. Got it? It behaves like acid
Yes,
and
sir.
produce some S plus. And similar to acetic acid, benzoic acid also form dimer in benzene solvent. You can note down it with this thing also. Okay, these are important things. Acetic acid and benzoic acid in benzene solvent forming dimers. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Note it down and now calculate the value of I for this question. And if you don't know, you can see here acetic acid is weak electrolyte. This is partially dissociated, and with the help of alpha here given, you can find it easily.
So will it be 1.40?
Exactly, it is 1.4. So how you proceed it? Do you know?
Yes, sir.
Just ionize it into acetate and S plus ion. Then proceed in the same way we have discussed before. So now I am giving the solution for this. Just match and have you solved in this way or not? In water solvent, acetic acid is undergoing partial dissociation, or we can say ionization, in this way. In water solvent, acetic acid is known as acetic acid aqueous form, and this is partially dissociated because that's why we are taking double arrow, that is reversible sign. And now this produce an ion as acetate ion and S plus as proton is cation. Okay, and here we have to write aqueous as well. This is also aqueous and this is aqueous. Now what we can take here, for calculation of I, whatever the moles of solute given, you can take 1 mole for calculation of this. Okay, in question you may get different moles than 1, but for calculation of I you can take the 1. So initially we are taking 1 mole for this, and for product these are 0. Okay, so now at equilibrium,
Yes, sir.
if degree of dissociation is alpha, just put the 1 minus alpha here. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so at equilibrium, you can proceed in term of alpha, or you can just take the direct value of alpha as well. Like here alpha is given 40%, so you can take the 0.4 directly. And how many moles we are getting for this? 0.4, and for this 0.4. So these are remaining moles 0.6. So how many moles we are getting total for solute is 0.6 undissociated form, 0.4 is ionized, 0.4 for cation. So what we are getting is 1.4 moles. Now for calculation of I, we have to take total moles at equilibrium state, that are observed moles 1.4, and initially we are taking 1 mole. So this is the value of I here, and you know this is greater than 1. For dissociation it must be greater than 1. Okay, so this is the way, and even you can take the before this 1 minus alpha, 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 and then 1 plus alpha is total moles and put the value of alpha, or you can direct the put the value of alpha here. Okay,
Yes, sir.
So now I am giving some idea how we can apply the I in the formula of colligative properties. Like first formula of colligative properties we are having is RLVP, that is what delta phi upon phi naught equals to what?
X of solvent.
X of solute. Do remember RLVP. Okay, and when we put
Yes, sir.
I, then I will come here, and now this is the complete formula and even applicable for all type of solute that may be electrolyte or non-electrolyte but must be non-volatile. Here solute can should be non-volatile and it can be electrolyte or non-electrolyte. For both the cases it is applicable, and when solute is non-electrolyte I becomes 1 easily. Okay, so we are getting the formula similar to that. And one more thing here X solute is what? Moles of solute upon total moles. So do remember,
Yes, sir.
we have to write I with number of moles of solute at both side numerator as well as denominator here. So on opening this or on putting the value of X solute, we are getting moles of solute upon moles of solute plus solvent. I should be multiplied with both small n here, numerator as well as denominator. Got it? In this formula when we write X solute, I is only one coming here, but when we put the value of X solute, then I must be come with moles of solute whatever the position of n. Got it?
Yes,
This
sir.
is common mistake actually many students are doing in exams, so do remember i's come with both side here, numerator and denominator. Then next formula delta TB, elevation in boiling point will be equals to I kbm. Do remember, just I is multiplied with kb and m, and you are getting now observed value. This is what observed value of delta TB we are getting, and kb into m is theoretical value. So what we are getting, this is observed, this is theoretical, ratio will be I. Next third formula we are getting is delta TF equals to I into KF into M, and here again this is observed depression in freezing point, and this is theoretical KF into M, so I will be observed upon theoretical. And then fourth formula is pi equals to I CRT. Do remember, and these equations are valid for all type of solutes that may be electrolyte or non-electrolyte. Now these are the complete formula. There is no condition, only one condition for solute, that is non-volatile solute is there. Electrolyte or non-electrolyte both can be used here. Okay, got it?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you know the PS calculation method? If you have given any strong or weak acid and you want to calculate the pH, can you do? Have you idea to calculate pH or not?
Sir, I have the idea, but I completely forgot the formula.
Okay, okay. Done. So many questions you are getting in this, actually what's happening, some more data are used, like PS is given and you have to calculate the want of factor or osmotic pressure like that. So now I am giving some question based on this. These are the complete formula you can write. And now question is calculate osmotic pressure of 0.1 molar acetic acid aqueous solution at 25 degrees centigrade if pH of solution is given equals to 2. Okay, just find osmotic pressure of this solution. Temperature is given and strength of solution is given and pH is also given here. To solve this, If you don't know the formula of pH, you can write pH equals to minus log of H plus ion concentration. Have you got it?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I'm writing here formula for pH. pH is calculated by using this formula, minus log of H plus ion active mass. This is formula for calculation of pH. Have you got the answer?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm solving this. Here what is given? You have given one thing, that is acetic acid as a solute, and we know this is weak electrolyte, or we can say weak acid. Weak acids are weak electrolyte. And one more thing is given, the concentration or molar concentration is 0.1 m here, and pH of solution is given 2. So what we can say, S plus ion concentration will be 10 raised to power minus pH, and what you are getting here, 10 raised to power minus 2 molar. So this is S plus concentration we are getting for this solution. Now temperature is given 25 degrees centigrade, just convert into absolute temperature, and that will come to 98 Kelvin. Okay, so these informations we are given here in this question. Okay,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
now we want to calculate here the value of pi, and for calculation of pi we need I, C, R, T. And how many informations we are have here? T is given, R is constant, we know, C is also given, I to be find out here first for calculation of pi. So first of all we are calculating the I here. Okay, and for calculation of want of factor, just write the equation, acetic acid aqueous goes to acetate ion plus S plus ion. This is aqueous, this is also aqueous species. Now if we are taking initial concentration of this as C mole per liter, Cm, so at equilibrium what we are getting is, out of 1 mole the moles reacted is known as alpha, so out of C moles, moles reacted is known as C alpha, so this is C alpha and C alpha concentration for S plus ion. So these are the equilibrium concentration for acetate ion, S plus ion, and for remaining undissociated acetic acid form. So what value of S plus we are having here? C alpha, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what we are getting, S plus is given 10 raised to power minus 2, C is given 0.1, alpha to be find out. Can you say alpha here? It is 0.1. Okay, this alpha
Yes,
we
sir.
are
Yes,
getting.
sir.
And after getting alpha, how can we find the I? Just calculate, use the formula. Now how much concentration or moles of solute here? C minus C alpha or we can say total concentration at equilibrium is C minus C alpha plus C alpha plus C alpha, and initial concentration is C. So how much we are getting? This is cancel out C plus C alpha, and this is what C. So what we are getting, 1 plus alpha upon 1, or you can calculate the way we have discussed before for I. And now I is what? Alpha is 0.1, so 1 plus 0.1 upon 1, so I is coming 1.1. Now you can find phi easily. 1.1 for the value of C, that is 0.1. Can you say value of R here?
It can be taken as 8.314 into 10 to the power minus 2.
Exactly. That is coming in which unit?
It will be
It
in
will be
bar.
in bar liter per mole per Kelvin. Okay. So if we
Yeah.
want to calculate the osmotic pressure in bar, then we have to take that value. If we want to calculate this in ATM, then we have to put R as 0.0821 or approx 1 by 12. And temperature should be taken in Kelvin scale, that is 298 here. And now this is coming in atmospheric unit. So this is answer.
Sir, I
Sir,
have
I
one
have
more
one more
doubt.
doubt.
Okay.
Instead of taking the variables like C and C alpha,
Okay.
what I did was at T is equal to 0, the initial concentration is 100.
Exactly. You can take.
Yeah, so at equilibrium I took,
Actually,
since it was given 0.1
for
molar,
calculation of
I took,
I, just after getting the alpha, you can find the I in this way we have discussed before. Just take the 1 mole of this, 1 minus alpha, 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 and 1 plus alpha is I. That is correct also. And even we can calculate by this way also. The way
Okay.
okay,
we,
because when, yeah, because when I did 1 minus 0.1
yeah.
at equilibrium, then it will give 0.1 and 0.1.
Yeah, you can take it easily.
Okay, got it, sir.
Anyway, you can use for this calculation of alpha. Actually, we have discussed two method. Any method can be applied here. So now we are getting the phi here in atmospheric unit. Even you can convert in any other units like bar or any other units, and you can find it in bar is directly as taking the alpha. Sorry, R as 0.0831. Okay, so this is the way to calculate this kind of problems. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm giving some more questions based on this. We have given some solutions which are named as solution A, solution B, solution C. There are three solutions we have. Okay, this solution is 1 molar urea aqueous solution. Solution A is this one. This solution is 1 molar NaCl aqueous solution, and then solution C is given 1 molar acetic acid aqueous solution. Do remember acetic acid is weak electrolyte, this is strong electrolyte. Whenever you are not given the information, just remember it. And these are also in our syllabus, like in ionic equilibrium we are checking which kind of weak electrolytes and which kinds of things are strong electrolytes. So these three solutions we have, and here we want to calculate question number 1, increasing order of osmotic pressure pi. Question number 2, increasing order of vapor pressure. Question number 3, increasing order of boiling point of solutions. Question number 4, increasing order of freezing point of solutions. Question number 5, increasing order of delta P, change in vapor pressure. Question number 6, increasing order of RLBP, delta P upon P naught. Question number 7, increasing order of delta TB. Question number 8, increasing order of delta TF. And question number 9, increasing order of we have got the phi, professor, all that. So we have completed this. Okay, so these 8 questions you can do. Solve these questions, just compare. And do remember, I is also included whenever solute is not non-electrolyte. If it is electrolyte, then we have to take the I consideration.
So for the
So for the
first one,
first one, is
is
it
it C,
C,
A,
A,
and
and
B?
B?
Osmotic pressure is directly proportional to I into C, you can take, isn't it? By formula.
Yes,
The
sir.
Yes, sir.
C is
temperature
C is
you can take it
constant.
here equal actually. It is, we are not mentioning, just mention the temperature for all. Where this is T Kelvin, without temperature we cannot determine this, so temperature is equal or. And now what you can do, this for I into C for this, I into C for that, I into C for that, all that.
But the
But the
concentration is
concentration is
equal.
equal.
So
So
it will
it
depend
will
only
depend
on
only
I,
on
right?
I, right?
Exactly.
So it will,
So
will it
will
be
it be
C, A,
C,
B?
A, B?
Maximum phi will come for maximum I, that is for what solution B.
NaCl.
NaCl.
For NaCl I is 2, for urea it is 1, and for C acetic acid I is greater than 1 but less than 2, because it is weak electrolyte, even dissociate but not completely. Got it?
Okay, so
Okay, so
it
it
should
should
be
be
A,
A,
B,
B,
C.
C.
ACB. Actually, what we are doing, just put the value of I here. In case of solution B, we can write I equals to 2 or not. It is
Yes,
strong
sir.
Yes,
electrolyte
sir.
100%. In case of C solution, I is what? I is less than 2 but greater than 1, because it is dissociated but not completely. Like I can be 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, like that. Got it?
Yes,
For
sir.
Yes,
example,
sir.
you can take I equals to 1.2 suppose, and here what, I equals to 1. This is non-electrolyte. Got it? Now you can do it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, and
Sir,
all
and
the
all the
colligative
colligative
properties, since
properties,
they are
since they are
dependent
dependent
upon this
upon this
concentration or the
concentration or the
strength
strength
and
Yes,
and
independent
independent
of
of
nature
nature
of
of
solute, so
solute, so
shouldn't they
shouldn't
all
they
be
all be
equal?
equal?
yes. These all colligative properties are getting the similar order. I into
Yes,
C.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
So it should
So
be
it should
A is
be A
equal to
is
B is
equal to
equal
B
to
is
C,
equal to
right?
C, right?
A no. A for A it is minimum. For B is it is maximum. ACB is order. I is a minimum for A, so I into C is a minimum for A, and I into
Okay.
C will
Okay.
come maximum for what? B.
It will be
It
for
will be
B.
for B.
And for C it is more than A and less than B. Like you can take for C equals to 1.2. You are getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Hmm? So now for next question, vapor pressure, boiling point, freezing point, calculate for all. The answer ACB is for question number 1. You are getting this answer for A is less than C is less than B. This is applied for question number 1. Question number, then all calculative properties like 8. Question number 7. Question number 6. For these 4 questions, the order is ACB. You got it? Now calculate
Yes, sir.
increasing order for other questions. Question number 2.
Sir, is it BCA?
Minimum vapor pressure for BCA, correct. For 2 it is correct. For question number 3,
Then it will be ACB.
yeah, right. For number 4, freezing point.
I'm getting confused between that.
For freezing point,
Yes, sir.
actually what's happening on mixing a solute to the solvent, freezing point will decrease or not?
It will.
Okay. So when we mix more amount of solute, it will decrease more or less?
It will decrease more.
If it will decrease more, then final value will be minimum or maximum? It decrease more,
It will be minimum.
minimum. So this is the way you can determine. So minimum freezing point for that solution in which moles of solute are maximum. And here you have to type moles of solute, that is observed means I into moles of solute. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So find answer for FV.
Sir, will it be BCA?
BCA, correct. Next for delta P.
Will it be ACB?
ACB, right. Okay. So these are the answer. If you have any doubt in any section of these questions, you can say.
No, sir. Actually, I was having a problem in interpretation of the formula. Like that maximum minimum. That's the reason why.
Okay, okay. So we are discussing it. Okay. Now
Yes.
we are having 3 solutions, A, B, and C, and we know concentration is given 1 molar. This is urea here, and 1 molar here it is NaCl, and 1 molar here it is acetic acid. And for example, for acetic acid, I is less than 2 and more than 1, so we are taking for example 1.4 here. Okay, and here it is fixed 2, and for urea it is non-electrolyte, so I is 1. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So now find first number of moles of solute is directly proportional to I into C here. Do remember. Okay, because concentration is
Yes.
more when number of moles of solute is more. And here what the role of I, because if a solute is dissociated in the solution, then number of moles will increase or not?
Yes,
Number of
sir.
moles of solute particles will increase. So number of moles of solute will come directly proportional to I into C. So what is I into C here? It is 1 into 1 here, 1 into 2 here, 1.4 into 1 here. So what value you are getting is 1, 2 and 1.4. Okay, done till now. These
Yes, sir.
solutions are like, in this solution we are mixing 1 mole of a solute, and suppose vapor pressure is decreased to this level after adding the 1 mole of this. So after adding 1 mole, vapor pressure decreased to this level. When we add the double mole, this vapor pressure will decrease more or less.
It will decrease more.
And if it decrease more, suppose this goes to this bottom. Okay, now here the vapor pressure is suppose 0.5 atm. So what is here, less than 0.5 or more than, because this level is 0.5 here, so it is less than 0.5.
Less than 0.5.
Let 0.2, but it is less than 0.5, it is clear. Now here how many moles we are having? 1.4. That is more
1.4.
than 1 but less than 2, isn't it? So vapor pressure is
Yes,
decreased
sir.
more than 1 but less than 2. So this is what we can take 0.4. Okay, for example.
Yes, sir.
So now you can see for which solution vapor pressure is minimum. 0.2,
For
0.4,
B.
0.5, which is minimum?
B.
0.2 is minimum, isn't it? And
Yes, sir.
vapor pressure is minimum here for 0.2, but you can say what is the maximum change here, in which case change is maximum. This is delta p, actually this change is delta p, so in which case delta p is maximum.
It will be for A.
A. And this is what we are saying, the vapor pressure of solution, Vp. Okay, so you are getting the difference between
Yes, sir.
these. This is Vp. So vapor pressure is minimum for B, and delta P is maximum, because when vapor pressure change is maximum, decrease is maximum, then final value come minimum. Now can you relate it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
Understood.
similarly you can take for freezing point also. Freezing point is also decreased. So for 1 mole of solute, freezing point is decreased to this amount. For 2 mole it is decreased to this amount, and for 1.4 mole it is decreased more than 1 mole but less than 2 mole. Okay, but in
Yes, sir.
case of boiling point, that is increase, if you know. So what you do in
Yes,
case of
sir.
boiling point, just increase 1 mole, due to 1 mole suppose this is increased to this level. Okay, so due to addition of 2 mole of solutes, the increase amount is more than this or less?
More than
More.
it.
And for this, increase is more than
Between.
1 but less than 2. So now these are the points of boiling point. This is boiling point of this solution, this is boiling point of this solution, and this is boiling point of this solution. What is order which has maximum? B.
B,
Minimum for
C, A.
A. And now this is delta TB. This change is what? Delta TB. And for which solution delta TB is maximum?
For
B.
A.
You can see this difference, this line length. For which line it is maximum length?
Okay, it is B.
BT.
Yes.
So here we can observe this thing. If any quantity is increased, then change will be directly proportional to final value. If change is more, then final value will be more, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And if any property is decreased, then change is maximum for minimum value. If change is maximum, then we
Yes,
are
sir.
getting the value is minimum. Both are opposite. So
Yes, sir.
boiling point is elevated, increased. So when change is more, delta TB is more, boiling point is more. Vapor pressure is decreased, so change in vapor pressure is more than vapor pressure is less. Freezing point is decreased, so change in freezing point is more than what value? Minimum value of freezing point we are getting. And osmotic pressure will increase, so osmotic pressure change will be more for more change. So there are 4 colligative properties in which 2 increase on addition of solute and 2 decrease on addition of solute. Now is it clear?
Yes, sir. Sir, can you give me one more question so that I can just try as a homework?
Yes, I am giving you. So to write 3 solutions again. A, B and C. Here we have some different concentration. 2 molar glucose aqueous solution, and then 1.5 molar sodium sulfate aqueous solution, and then 3 molar formic acid, alpha is given 0.1, okay, aqueous solution.
Yes, sir.
With the alpha of alpha you can find I,
I.
okay,
Yes, sir.
aqueous solution. And for all these solutions the temperature is given equal, and then questions are similar.
Yes, sir.
Increasing order of pi, increasing order of vapor pressure, increasing order of change in vapor pressure, increasing order of boiling point, increasing order of we can say delta TB, increasing order of delta TF, increasing order of RLBP delta P upon P naught, and which question is left? Vapor pressure delta P freezing point. Okay, so increasing order of freezing point.